Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48's World, where we do recaps and reviews on reality shows as well as soap operas, etc., etc., etc. The first thing I want to talk about today, we just lost a very affluent person in the music industry. Prince died today, y'all, on April 21st, 2016. They're not giving any specifics right now what's the cause of his death, but send out prayers, and I'll be praying for his family members as well. My condolences go out to any family members or friends that watch my commentary on my show, or just letting everybody know of my gifts of gabs that didn't know that he died today. So again, that's an entertainment update, that Prince died today in his home, or at his home compound in Minneapolis. So send out prayers. Keep them in your prayers as far as the family members or close friends of Prince. And I will be doing a celebrity on my Celebrity Corner entertainment page I have on my channel. I'll be doing like a special condolences to him and all the favorite photos that I liked of him when he was still living with us. So look forward to seeing that expressed on my channel probably before the weekend of this week. All right, but right now we're going to get into the bold and the beautiful for April 21st, 2016, which was Thursday. It was hot, it was special, and it was very entertaining, y'all. The first scene goes into Ridge and Caroline, and basically what Ridge is doing is he's having a welcome back party or gathering for Liam. Since he does work for his father, he also works for Forrester Creations. So Ridge had an epiphany and thought he would just throw Liam a shebang of a welcome back party with all the people that love and care for him at the Forrester Creations compound. Also, he invited his father over for the celebration as well. So Bill comes over there, and he don't like to really leave his Spencer compound, but since they were honoring his son and doing all that nice things, he thought he would just come and share in the love. So basically we focused on, or the setting is going to Forrester Creations, where, like I said, they're having the get together for Liam. And that's where the Forresters and the Spencer family is coming together and throwing Liam a welcome back party. Again, at the Forrester Creations work compound for Liam. And everyone is in attendance. You have Bill and Katie. You have Wyatt and Steffi. You have Maya and Rick. You have Ridge and Caroline. You have Zendaya. You have Charlie, who's the security guard for them, and Pam. And Brooke, she's there, but she's not actually partaking of the party for Liam coming back. So she's busy. And I think that was it of all the people that were invited. Anyway, we go to Rick and Ridge. Rick is playing his investigativeness. He's got his hat on. He's trying to figure out how he can take Ridge down. So, one of Rick's friend had was at the restaurant that they all pretty much partake of when they're going out for lunch, whether it's a business meeting or they're going out with their spouses or friends. They tend to go to this like side restaurant thing that's maybe a hot type of eatery joint. Outside eatery joint that they partake of in LA. And he was telling Rick that, I don't know what was wrong with your brother, but he had a real knockdown blowout with some older gentleman. They were just going at it. And so, Rick was just like, okay, well, wait a minute now. I need to ask about that, because it might be something that I need to, put my ear down to the ground and see what kind of dirt I can get up on him. So Rick goes over there, telling what his friend had said about him. And Rick, goes into him pretty hard and stern. And Ridge adamantly denies ever being there. So that was a trip, and that was a no, Ridge. You should have just said you were there, you had lunch, blase, blase, and went on about your business. But okay, you dropping down little breadcrumbs that Rick is gonna be collecting and using against you, slowly but surely. So we move on from that scene. We go to Katie and Brooke. Katie has dropped by for the celebration for Liam, but since Liam hadn't gotten there yet, she thought she would pay a visit to her sister. So she goes on down to Brooke's office at Forrester Creations, and she see Brooke is, pretty much uh, have her head covered up with work. So in essence, Brooke is just really trying to rush her out because she really don't want Katie to go back in on her, especially at work, and she don't want her, anxiety to get up and them both just be hollering at one another. So she pretty much was kind of trying to dismiss her sister. But her sister wasn't having it. She came on in. She just, Brooke telling her, look, I'm not going to Liam's party because I got this, that, and the third to do. I got to check out some invoices and talk to shipping and receiving about some things. And, I just don't have the time. And then we move from there. We go to Eric Forrester and Bill. So both of them are like, chiming up in a corner, chit-chatting it up a little bit. And Eric Forrester is just like, he is just dumbfounded. He's just too perplexed and he just totally is taken back that he would hire somebody that would do such a negative, horrible, insane type of action on another individual. He just can't believe the monster that Quinn is, or they're trying to pretty much portray her as in her character. And he's just saying, I just can't believe she sat there, did all of this stuff with us, having all these different personalities playing a part, and not one time none of us could figure out that she was up to something, or she led anybody to believe that she was up to something. I just can't believe it. How is Liam doing? And of course, Bill goes on to say, didn't nobody know Corinne was that damn evil and crazy. We knew she was crazy, but she don't got butt naked crazy. So we gonna get her though, because whenever we find her, and do believe I'm doing my due diligence, I got people on ground, in the air, whatever it takes, we're gonna find her. We are definitely gonna find her, and we are gonna seek justice to the fullest. And of course, um, Eric was like, yes, yes, we must get her off of the streets because she's a danger to herself, to society, and we just don't want this type of behavior to happen. And she get a hold of somebody else, and it just becomes, elevated. So, they were just having their little conversations, but the whole thing that they both ended up saying, they glad Liam survived it. He's a fighter, and he's gonna be well after it. So that moved on from there. We went to Wyatt, Steffi, and Ridge. Finally, Wyatt and Steffi arrived for Liam's party. Liam hadn't gotten there yet, so they're still on time for the mingling and gathering for Liam when he does show up. And neither one of them look happy, y'all. And I know they a little stressed out. And I know things got manipulated, this, that, and the third. But they still newlyweds, and they hadn't fully solidified their being with each other. It's just like, okay, we got married, we consummated everything, okay, but then trouble started knocking at their door. Oh, I feel so sorry for them too. But anyway, we move on. Liam finally comes, walks in, sees everybody, and he's floored. He's like, what is going on? All of this for me? And they're like, yeah, bro, come on in here. I'm glad to see you. We all glad to see you. We all heard about your trials, tribulations, your comings and goings. And guess what? We still love you. We glad you made it out the lion's den and all that good stuff. Boy, tell us what happened. What did you experience? This, that, and the third. They are all just coming for him. And he's pretty much, trying to answer each question as best as he can, because he's letting them know he was not himself, and this, that, and the third. And Eric is reassuring him that, honey, and he even expressed it to Wyatt, if we catch your mama, honey, we gonna prosecute her to the fullest extent of the law. I'm just letting you know why. And Wyatt's chiming in saying, yes, what she did was unforgivable, inhumane, and horrific. That anybody or any individual will have to go through that type of situation. So he wasn't trying to take up for his mama, but I'm sure when she does get caught, 9 times out of 10 she's gonna be pregnant. That's my hypothesis of how I'm looking at the situation, and they're not gonna be able. I mean, they could still put her in jail. Don't get me wrong. Got plenty of people, and we got a what do you call it, infirmary there, in all jailhouses. So she'll be good. But then they're the cream of the creme. And they may not want that to happen to her, this, that, and the third. So we'll just see how that plays out. Okay, then we go to Katie and Brooke. Katie is still in there. She goes on to tell Brooke that she is so sorry for her past actions negatively she's displayed towards her. And Brooke is on the receiving end. She receives all that information well. They hug, they kiss. Brooke assures or reassures her, reaffirms for her that she is not going to take her husband from her. Don't continue to worry about that, this and the third. And we know Brooke is just lying. I'm like, Brooke, why'd you even have to go there? Because you're going to have to eat your words as we go further on into watching the soaps. They're going to write a part in there where you're going to have to go back on your word. Okay? So I'm like, anyway. We leave there, we go to Liam. Liam is thanking everyone for showing up, and he's vowing to get his life back and whatever anything was taken from him. And he kind of looks at Wyatt when he makes that ending statement. But I'm like, okay, we finna start some mess. Okay, where there's smoke, there's gonna be sure fire. And I'm all here for it. I'm all for good fun, good entertainment. But no, nobody getting hurt. Like, pushing up daisies type of scenario gonna play out. But then we move on. We go back to Bill. Bill goes over to thank everybody for their contributions, for being here, for doing what they did, as far as having a welcome party for his son. He expressed all his whatever was on his mind about his son, and he lets Liam know he's glad he's back. He's glad he wasn't hurt. That yes, when we find Quinn, we're gonna seek due diligence. We're gonna put her in a jail. He goes on to tell his son he's very proud of him. What didn't kill him makes him stronger, and he would be a better man for that. And he loved him, and I thought that was just so touching, so touching. But anyway, we move on from there. We go to Wyatt and Liam. Wyatt, after his father got saying what he had to say, his heartfeltness and this and the other, he goes on to tell Liam that yes, we as a family, as a united front, are going to help you pick up all the missing pieces to put your life back together. And we're going to help you move on. Lord, I tell you, they was making that eye contact, that body language was everything, okay? It was everything to me. They had both said they are going to fight one another sanely for the rights to have Steffi, like she was some kind of tangible object to be fought over. I was like, okay, then, boys, let the best man win. But if we really look at it, Wyatt's already won. He's married. Okay, Liam, you need to really evaluate that situation, because you're not supposed to be doing all of this. It had played out the way it played out. Choices were made. Adult choices were made. Whether they're sound choices, no. Because Stephanie had waited for you at least a year. Yes. Did she do that? No. Okay. Then again, you didn't tell her everything that was going on with you and Quinn. The sexual contact y'all had, the possibility that she may be pregnant, because neither one of y'all was protecting yourselves because y'all were married. And on the information that Quinn gave you, you had no reason to glove up. So we're going to move on from that situation. We go to Brooke and Katie. Brooke is thanking her for her apology. She receives it. Like I said, Katie goes on to tell her she is seeing her therapist, and they're making headway. She understands that her way of thinking was flawed. She's taking her medication, and she's going to get better. And she hasn't been drinking since the last time that they were together. Oh, and so Brooke is happy about that. She goes on to reassure Katie once again that she's not going to be a factor in her life negatively. She don't have to worry or fear that her world is going to be taken from her by her. So that was all good to hear. They both hugged, gave each other kisses, and we moved on. We're back at Liam and Caroline. Liam is saying he was so sorry for missing the birth of their baby, or his cousin, as we should say. But, he's going on telling her, now you knew if I was in my right mind, I would have been the first one there congratulating your baby. Um, coming into the world and being deemed a Spencer or had Spencer more Forrester. But either way it goes, he's still going to be a Forrester. Yes, he is. And he's always going to have a Spencer because he has Spencer blood in him as well. So, of course, Caroline goes on to say, I knew you would have been here. I knew something was going on, but I'm sorry you had to go through the ordeal that you went through. Boy. Okay, they move on from there. We go to Eric Forrester. We go to Rick and Maya. Both, more so Rick than anybody else, have definitely come to make peace with Eric Forrester, as well as to say they finna make war with Ridge. And they have to do the United Front because that's what married people do. They support their spouses, whether they're wrong or right, but that's what happens. So Rick is going on telling his dad, look, Dad, I'm kind of overwhelmed here. I was told that I could not have a position because of whatever. I'm running international, okay? Forrester Creations International. But yet, I still have to do Forrester Creation stuff. What is going on with Ridge? Ridge's not returning people's phone calls. He's not answering their questions appropriately. And they're all coming to me. Dad, that's not fair. Something else is going on with Ridge. I can feel it. Dad, what are we going to do about it? Son, Eric says, fall back. We're not going to discuss this at this time. It's not appropriate. We're here to welcome back another one of our employees/family members. Okay, let's just chill on that. I'm sure Ridge is not doing anything. It's all in your head. Now keep it moving. That's pretty much what he said. Didn't say those quite words, but that's where I took it. So, he's still questioning his dad. He says, Dad, Thomas, that's not right. I asked him about being at this eatery joint that we used to partake, to take lunch at. And one of my friends saw him, but he gonna categorically deny that he wasn't there. Dad, why he lying? Why he lying? Then he goes on to ask his dad that he's ready to come back to the Forrester's compound where his father and his ex-wife built from ground up, and they've had many wonderful gatherings there, family events, and this, that, and the other. And he said, well, Ridge is still living there with his new baby and his wife. We cannot have that at this time, Rick. Okay, continue to stay at your mother's house or build your own mansion, okay? But right now, I don't see anything that your brother is doing, and y'all need to take this little civil rivalry and put it on hold. So that's what Dad at Forrester said, and he moved on from that situation, so we are going to move on too. We go on to Ridge and Steffi. Ridge is asking her how she feels about Liam being back and the situation she's in. Of course, Stephanie deflects. She don't really want to talk about it. She just tells her dad it is what it is. She's just glad he's back, he's healthy, and he's fine. Moving on from there, Liam and Bill, they have their little talk. Liam is talking to his dad about Steffi marrying Wyatt, and Bill saying respect their marriage. Now, they made their decisions. Yes, you were done wrong by Miss Quinn, but like I said, she's going to pay for everything, son. She's going to pay for everything. But let sleeping dogs lie, okay? Just let them lie. Deal with the issues, the consequences, and move on. So we will go from there. We go to Ridge and Steffi. Ridge is asking Steffi again, how does she feel about her marriage now to Wyatt, since that she knows everything? And she's basically telling him the same thing. It's nothing she can do. There's no need to bring up feelings, old feelings, current feelings when they don't mesh with her current situation. So we leave there, go to commercial, we come back from commercial. We're back. We're talking to Rick and Eric. Now I told you granddaddy or his daddy, granddaddy to be. I told him to move on from that. He don't want to talk about that no more. This is not the place and the time. But Rick still keeps grilling his dad. He says, Dad, Ridge is the CEO, but he's never in the office. Granted. And Maya was chiming in on him that she knows he just had a baby and he's been out the office several times. But when does enough becomes enough? So he's feeling like strongly Ridge has something to do with the doctor's death. But his dad's like, don't be speculating that and don't be saying false things that you don't have proof of. So pretty much he just got rid of Rick. He left Rick and went somewhere else. We move on to Caroline and Ridge. Caroline comes up to Red. She tells him, why do you keep talking to Rick? What is going on with you and Rick? Because both of y'all are making these eye contacts and they don't seem friendly at all. And why is Rick constantly keep looking at you, staring at you, like, you know, you have done him wrong in some way? And Ridge is assuring Caroline that, you know, Rich is crazy. He just wanted to find any and everything on me so he can get the company back. And that's pretty much what it is. Don't worry about it. But she said, I don't know. Do he know anything? She said, no, boo. All the people that know is you, I, and God, and the man that was trying to blackmail us. And he's dead. So between you and I and God, who's going to tell? Okay? So get yourself together. So that we leave that scene. We go back to Wyatt and Stephanie. Wyatt takes Steffi from the party, takes her over into her office or maybe Liam's office. I'm not really sure. But he goes on to tell her, look, I know you're unhappy. I know it was a lot for everybody to take. But look, we're human. Life goes on. We have to go on with it. We can't stay stagnant. And, you know, Liam will be fine. We'll be there for him. But we are married now. And I'm honoring my vows to you. And I want you to do the same for me. Unless you feel some different way about our marriage. And of course, she doesn't really say anything, but she assures him that she's there with him. And that's where she's going to stay. And she gives him a hug and they stop talking about it. But upon that hug, Liam walks in the door. He sees them, you know, being intimate with one another. And then he's going to pretty much say, hey, I need to talk to my brother for a minute because I don't like a lot of stuff that's been happening. And I'm going to take offense to it. And I'm going to get back what's mine. So pretty much they didn't show us, but Steffi walked out the room so they could have their time together. Then we go back to Rick and Ridge. Rick is talking with Thomas, Pam, the security guard, Zende, anybody he can pretty much get to talk to try to find out some more information on Mr. Ridge. How the thing plays out, Charlie asked him, so you must haven't found out anybody that hit your car. He said, unless you got some more footage that you want to tell me about, other than the footage that we saw Queen accosting Liam and putting him in the car and this, that, and the third, then yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who hit my car. And yes, I do believe Ridge did it. But with no proof, you can't put blame at somebody's door. So we leave. Well, he does ask anybody, do they know any information that he may be missing? Of course, everybody say no. So he goes on. So Caroline and Ridge, they meet back up with each other again. Caroline is like, hello? Hello? I'm recording. Okay, we'll just cut the call for a few minutes. Bye. And so, that's my daughter, y'all. She's trying to get in the garage and she forgot her key. Oh, she getting on my nerve. But anyway, basically Bridge was basically assuring Caroline that she has nothing to worry about and just stop worrying. Then we go to Katie and Bill. Katie is expressing to Bill that she basically had talked to Brooke, everything solidified. They back on one accord, at least for now. He thought that was a beautiful thing. He's glad about it. He hopes the same comes for him and his boys. We go back to Katie and Rick. Rick is pretty much asking Katie, does she know anything about the incident that took place between Ridge and that doctor? Of course, he's saying no. She don't have to know anything, but she knows more than what she's telling him. She just don't want to give up the goods at that time. He goes on to tell her that the doctor was killed accidentally. However, you know, nobody's really paying attention to that. But she said no, she didn't know. So he moves on from her. It goes back to Ridge and Steffi. Ridge finds Steffi outside of the building, or whether they were throwing the party or the office, and he goes to ask her the same question over again. She's still not wanting to answer. She's still not wanting to question anything. So he kind of lays off of her because he know he ain't getting nothing. He being a dead horse. So then we go to the final scene with Wyatt and Liam. They both in there going at it each other and they making promises. I don't know who's going to keep it or who's going to come out the victorious one. But both of them are vowing to get, Wyatt is vowing to keep Steffi and Liam is vowing to take her from him. So it's pretty much a he say thing, and we just have to keep watching and all that good stuff. And that was it, guys. It was somewhat decent. We know fireworks are getting ready to start, so that's a good thing. But that's all I have for The Bold and the Beautiful for April 21st, 2016, Thursday. Please check out my dual channel I share with my daughter. Some of the same type of commentary we host on our dual show that I do here, as far as reality shows and hot topics. It's called SNS. Let's talk about it. SNS with the semicolon. Let's talk about it. The S stands for Starr Kraziness, or my daughter Chauncey, SHONSE, and then we have myself, which is Chanel. That's what the SNS stands for. Then she has her own channel called Starr Kraziness. If y'all are like in the age of 25, that's her age. So if you gravitate to that particular age group, go check her out on her individual channel. She does a lot of craziness, and she's her show is pretty good as well. So again, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell several friends about my channel, several family members about my channel, and let's do. Thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48th World, where you get your recaps and reviews on reality shows, soap operas, and etc. etc. Okay, today we're going to be going over The Bold and the Beautiful for April 21st, 2016, Thursday. Okay, let's get on into it. We're at the Forrester camp. They're giving Liam a welcome